My name is Tina FUCHS. I live in Stuttgart, where I was also born 60 years ago, and I get my money for being a journalist. I did a documentary on an incident that happened after the war in Germany, in my hometown, a story I had not known about for 50 years. Um, and I was shocked that there was such a very, very important story, which shaped, I think, a lot of the post-German society, a German Second World War society, that I did not know about, which is the story of a survivor from Auschwitz who got killed after being liberated in Stuttgart, killed by the German police. That story shocked me so much that I did not know about it, even though I'm from Stuttgart, that it was clear to me that I have to do this documentary. The important thing I want to tell with this story is that people have to look closer what is around them and to be aware that behind sort of very many things, buildings, places, human beings, there is a story that we don't know. And this film is meant to be an invitation to have a second look at things and look closer and be aware of the past, and also to deal with the past and not look away, not to keep silent. The silence for me was shocking, and I wanted to break that silence. To be honest, I couldn't think of a better story. I mean, it had to be to the consent of the family, in my opinion. But there's, how much more cruelty and tragedy and sadness can there be to have survived the Holocaust, to have been reunited with your family, which was also almost impossible, that one would survive Auschwitz, that one would survive the Death March, and that children would survive Auschwitz. And they were all reunited in Stuttgart, only to have their father being killed after the war, only because for cigarettes or chocolate, like market activities. Also at that time, it's not only the emotional level, but also, I mean, the father back then is also basically sort of the future who takes care of the family. That was sort of the role, how families were working back then. So to take the future for a second time for a family, I think it's so dramatic. In a movie, this story could be told very, very intensely, and with a lot of learnings in it. Also about the post-war area, that sort of the anti-Semitism was not at all gone, and it wasn't only Hitler, but also sort of everybody else who was supporting the dictatorship. There's so many documents about other people that were working there. You can draw so many pictures, of the different stakeholders of that time. The American Army, the UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Rehabilitation Association, who was there to help the survivors to find their way back to life. And then you have the German population, and then, of course, the survivors. And all of them were, acting at that very same time at that very same place and interacting on very different levels and also changing sides. So you can make so much out of that story, also to be learned. You know, it tells so much about human beings and how yeah, 1 second can change your life completely. So I think it's a very worthwhile story to be told.